2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day held in Abuja, President Buhari, Vice President Osinbajo and other dignitaries laid wreath in honor of fallen heroes and legislative and executive arms in strategic meeting to address security challenges as Abuja Archbishop appeals to Nigerians to unite against terror. This is the outlook of Panorama on the NTA. I am Kenen Ima Abudike. Thanks for joining us. The 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration has been held in Abuja. The solemn celebration was marked with the significant layers of wreath by President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo and other important dignitaries. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari Sunday evening held a strategic meeting with the Senate President Bukola Saraki and the Speaker of the House of Representatives on the security situation in parts of the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The meeting is in furtherance of President Buhari's strategic engagements with critical stakeholders aimed at finding lasting solutions to the volatile security situation. Lasting about 1 hour, the meeting provided the opportunity for an in-depth review of the steps taken so far by the federal government towards addressing the recurrent farmers-herdsmen conflicts, amongst other challenges of security in parts of the country.
And he's spoken to us about the situation in Benue and what exactly the government is doing in order to bring it under control. But, you know, as leaders, it's not our responsibility to share what the president has briefed us with the media. We have a constituency.
For now, we are resuming on Tuesday. We have the responsibility to brief our colleagues on what we have been briefed and then from there communicate to the public respectively. What we're all interested, of course, is the unity of the country, peace and stability.
The presiding officers of the National Assembly used the opportunity to commiserate with victims of the conflicts.
We use this opportunity again, send our condolences to the people of Benue State, to the government and entire community for this unfortunate incident. I grant them eternal peace and continue to ensure that we live in peace and harmony.
As leaders, we will not politicize this. It's not time for passing blame to anyone. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that we bring not just succor to the people who are affected, but to ensure that we do not experience a relapse into this or a recurrence of this cycle of violence.
Talk to us about the significance of this meeting between the President and the presiding officers of the National Assembly.
It is Mr. President's continued engagement with the legislature on any matter of national significance, because as the President, the legislature is the lawmaking body and he has to brief them on what he's done, and that is what he's just doing, to guide the legislature in taking its decisions.
President Buhari's strategic engagements on national security and stability continues. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
As part of ongoing reviews of the country's security apparatus, the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Security Infrastructure has engaged Benue State Governor Samuel Otom in discussion on the way forward. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adeguloye reports that the interaction is sequel to the killings by suspected gunmen in the state.
This meeting between the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Security Infrastructure and Benue State Governor Samuel Otom seeks ways of finding a lasting solution to the farmers and herdsmen clashes in Benue State. Senate leader Ahmed Lawan and the leader of the delegation assured that Senate will partner with all agencies mandated to provide security to find a lasting solution to the crisis. Governor Autumn stressed that after due consultations, passage of the anti-open grazing law and introduction of ranches is the way forward.
We have looked at this. It's not that we did not do our homework well before coming out with this law. We did. Series of meetings were held at the state, at the local government, at the ward level. And so our law is a win-win law.
He also thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for his swift intervention in the crisis. The committee also engaged the Tortiv, traditional rulers, and the Benue State Commissioner of Police.
So what Nigerians should expect at the end of our assignment and approval of the Senate on our recommendations would be that our security institutions will be better, that citizens, Nigerians, should expect to be protected and secured more efficiently and effectively by the security institutions. The traditional rulers across the country should have serious and positive roles to play in our security arrangements.
The senators visited the Daudu IDP camp with goodwill messages from the president and a 1 million naira donation from the Senate. In Makurdi, Dennis at Digmloy, NTA News.
Following the peace meeting by the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, with Fulani and the Tiv communities in Lafia, Nasarawa State, the IGP and Governor Tanko Al-Makura have followed up with the tour of the border communities to assess the security situation and drive home the message of harmonious coexistence. Joshua Ojito reports.
The visit of Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris to Tunga, Logo and Guma is in continuation of his engagement with stakeholders to end farmers-herdsmen clashes as directed by President Buhari. While in the affected communities, the IGP also interacted with traditional rulers and again with representatives of Tiv and Fulani. He also visited the internally displaced persons and assured them of adequate security.
We are going to make some adjustments of deployment, right? Yes, sir. We are taking some more mobile policemen to some of these areas. Yes, sir. And this we are able to achieve because of our personal assessment of these locations.
Meanwhile, Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura also visited the IDP camps where majority fled Benue attacks to border communities of Awe, Kiana and Obiluku government areas of Nasarawa State. According to the State Emergency Management Agency, there are more than 18,000 displaced persons taking refuge in Nasarawa State.
We need to fast-track the support we give to them. What I consider most fundamental is to ensure the increase of security, to also ask security operatives to go along the border towns where these people have deserted to ensure that there are no vandalization of their houses or food items.
The government, Governor Al-Makura assured, will sustain the provision of relief materials and medical services. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has distanced itself and its members from the killing in farming communities in the country. The group says its members are the worst victims of the attacks as they lost over 1,000 members in less than 7 months. Musa Baba Aliyu has the details.
These are leaders of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, representing over 2 million of their members. Their concern here is the frequent crisis between their members and the farming communities in Benue, Taraba, Adamawa and Kaduna states. The association is also worried over killings of innocent citizens, including their members, by unknown gunmen in the name of Fulani herdsmen.
While we have suffered decades of neglect by the government with attendant consequences, the current national gang-up against the herdsmen is not only endangering our survival as a people, but also justifying action against us, no matter how crude and inhuman it is.
Baba Usman, who is the National Secretary of the Miyetti Allah, said their members are ready to support the federal government and the security agencies towards finding lasting solutions to the farmers-herders clashes.
We demand for the immediate disarmament of all illegal militias across the country in the interest of peace, security and stability.
While calling on the federal government to establish Ministry of Livestock Development. The association appealed to the government to pay compensation to all the victims of the crisis. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, the Nigerian Air Force is more than ever ready to boost its pilot training efforts in the current war on terror with the acquisition of the second part of Super Mushak aircraft from Pakistan. Chief of Logistics, Nigerian Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Garba Bello stated this while taking their delivery in Kaduna. Benny Adams reports.
At exactly 7:45 Sunday morning, our cameras captured a massive aircraft making a huge presence right out of the Harmattan morning clouds at the Nigerian Air Force Base, Kaduna. Taking a cursory look as the aircraft takes it to a halt, it was a familiar sight, a Pakistani cargo plane on a delivery mission to Nigeria.
Just taxied here at the Nigerian Air Force Base in Kaduna is a Pakistani cargo plane on delivery as Super Mushak trainer aircraft to enhance the services of the Nigerian Air Force.
The 5 Pakistani manufactured Super Mushak trainer and light attack aircraft are the second and last delivery of 10 aircraft procured by the Nigerian Air Force.
The acquisition or the procurement of these ones will enhance early training of these ab initio pilots and see to their completing their flying training program in due time, and hence be launched into the battle in the northeast or other parts of the country.
Wing Commander Zishan Ahmed is of the Pakistani Air Force.
This should definitely increase the capability of the training that already Nigerian Air Force has. Like Super Mushak is capable of flying all the maneuvers, and the entire envelope of the flying training can be covered by this Super Mushak.
The Super Mushak aircraft has a speed of 363 kilometers per hour and endurance of 4 hours 15 minutes. In Kaduna, Benny Adams, NTA News.
This is Panorama on the NTA. More reports shortly. Welcome back to Panorama on the NTA. A total of 560 stranded Nigerians in Libya heaved a sigh of relief as their plane touched ground in Nigeria at 11:57 p.m. Saturday night. The migrants, who were the third batch returnees under the federal government repatriation program, are part of the over 5,000 Nigerians expected to be brought back from Libya. Diankume Ulolo reports.
On hand to receive the third batch of migrants, over 560 men, women and children from Libya were officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and other government representatives. 4 out of the 560 returnees have lost their sight as a result of the harsh treatment they were predisposed to during the sojourn in Libya.
Some medical officer examined them and they felt like 3 of them are having psychological illness, which we are already aware of, and we are going to take care of them.
The Zonal Coordinator, National Emergency Management Agency, South Zonal Office, and the head of the operations, Ejike Martins, reiterated the federal government's determination to cater for the welfare of the returnees. He, however, regretted the slow response of some states in coming to evacuate their indigents, which has led to overcrowding at the reception centers.
Over 90% of the people are from South, and the federal government felt that it will be better for these people to move through Port Harcourt, which is nearer to their home.
Some of the Libyan returnees share their experiences.
Anywhere you go, if they catch you, they truncate you, they ask you to bring money. They don't even care if you don't have money or not. Some they even shoot some people.
Nigeria's girls and our boys, they maltreat them here there. So everybody will be complaining that we should find people to rescue us or come back to our Nigeria.
following the inhuman treatment meted out to Nigerians resident in Libya. This necessitated the repatriation exercise at the instance of the federal government to help unite these Nigerians with their respective families. In Port Harcourt, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
Minister of Budget and Planning, Senator Udoma Udoma, says the Nigerian economy will be significantly better in 2018. The minister, who was speaking against the backdrop of the indicators of the nation's economic performance, said the consistent positive trend since the country emerged from recession in the second quarter of last year was indicative of a better economy this year. Senator Udoma at the 2018 Economic Outlook Forum of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, King's Court Parish in Lagos, said these positive sentiments are shared by most international and local rating agencies who support the view that the Nigerian economy is poised to grow rapidly in 2018. Senator Udoma indicated that this growth will create opportunities for investment in areas such as agriculture and agro-processing industry, construction and services. He assured that government is determined to lead in that effort and appealed to the private sector to respond to the various initiatives which the government had been rolling out. As Nigeria reels out the recent acute fuel scarcity that no doubt came with some nasty effect, operatives of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps have busted a syndicate with the connivance of NNPC mega station Mando to hold large quantity of fuel for nefarious acts. The commandant of the Corps, Modu Bundo, disclosed this while parading the suspects around the vicinity of the mega station. Yakubu Musa Brave reports.
Motoring public in Nigeria had recently suffered a very serious fuel scarcity that lasted for some weeks, with their social and economic lives grossly affected. Development observers are largely relating to sharp practices by some unscrupulous marketers of the product, among other factors. The arrest, according to the commandant, was facilitated by a series of intelligence reports by some good Samaritans on the existence of the illegal mini petrol depot that is made possible to thrive by some officials of the government-approved mega station.
From our men, we received intelligent information that in this mega station, beside the mega station, there is mini depot for black marketers, where they normally collect their food for here, jerrycans, rum, and some other containers, and then keep it aside, load it in the night and take it wherever they want to take it.
Items found within the illegal depot were 9 drums, jerrycans, and other containers with hundreds of liters worth of petroleum product, as well as 9 lift-back Volkswagen model vehicles, among other accessories. Usman Tanko, a supervisor with the mega station, is one of the suspects.
The issue of these people getting fuel here is not so. When they came around today, I believe they came with full force based on what they had. I was even shocked when I saw them. When I saw them, our priority here, anytime we see operational vehicle, we give them the privilege to get their fuel so that they will go back and face their operation.
The state commandant called on the public to always report any suspicious person or groups that are conniving to create artificial scarcity of petroleum products for rapid intervention.
Abuja, the capital city considered to be more of civil service place, looks dry on weekends, especially in the daytime. In this roving report, Abdullahi Musa Suleja takes a look at the city and its suburbs.
In the heart of the city is one of the busy places on weekdays. While some streets have less traffic, unlike from Mondays to Fridays, others hardly record such vehicular traffic. Some residents say just as Abuja looks dry during the time, so are their.
I would like to pause that report there and move on to the next one, which says that the Southeast governors say they are finalizing arrangements in collaboration with the federal government to give a befitting burial to the late Nigeria's former Vice President Alex Ekwueme. Chairman of the forum and Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, disclosed this while briefing journalists after a closed-door meeting at the Government House, Enugu. Uchenna Nwokoye reports.
Chairman of the forum, Chief Umahi, who described the late vice president as a national leader who was committed to the defense of the voiceless, said the 5 southeastern states will do all within their reach to give him a state burial.
As governors of Southeast, we have set up a committee headed by the Director General of our forum, and they've been working very hard with the members of the committee, especially committee members from Anambra State, committee members from Enugu State. And so today, we have looked at their budget and are going to finalize the budget. And the 5 Southeast governors are very committed. That's why you see all of us. And so we will be briefing you from time to time.
Governors of Anambra, Enugu, Abia, and Ebonyi states attended the meeting, while that of Imo was represented by his deputy. Former Vice President Alex Ekwueme died on the 19th of November 2017. From Enugu, Uchenna Nwekoyo, NTA News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has appealed to youths in the Northeast to embrace productive ventures and shun acts of terrorism. He said this at the first major football tournament in Mongunu, Borno State since 2009. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the competition was organized by the 8th Task Force of the Nigerian Army.
10-year-old Bukar Muhammad from Mongunu local government area is among about 15,000 spectators at this historic football competition. Though his team, Ajari Football Club of Mongunu, lost the finals to visiting Riverside Football Club of Damasak, he's happy to watch a football match of this magnitude for the first time in his life. Chief Army Staff Football Tournament is part of civil-military relation aimed at winning the hearts and minds of youths towards productive venture and away from the trauma of the effects of insurgency. The impressive turnout of spectators from IDP camps and neighboring communities, the Army boss says, is an indication that peace has returned to the area and the people's resilience to return home and resume their normal life.
The youths who are the future leaders should continue to cooperate with the authorities and indeed the Nigerian Army and other security agencies by promptly reporting suspicious persons within their midst.
16 teams participated in the tournament that began on 16 September 2017. Like Bukar Muhammad, the prayer of these spectators is to be rehabilitated and return to their normal lives.
We are very happy.
From Mongunu in Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And that's Panorama on the NTA today. Many thanks to you for watching, and do join us again at 4 p.m. for Nationwide. My name is Kene Emma Aburike. Good afternoon.